It is time for Shiboyugi, playing desk games to put food on the table, episode 2. First episode was... It didn't sit well with me, so I'm a little bit lost because the main character I'm unable to really root for because she is stone cold killer. So I hope we get a good reason why she's doing this. But let's see. So this, I guess, is the intro. Interesting. Skip. So I hope we get... I get something to clutch on. Chains of ... Okay. So Yuki as a child? When did the timer appear? It was always there. Oh, I just ignored it. So 5 hours, 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm assuming she's inside the game? Maybe one of the earlier iterations? Oh, she searched for items. I see the rope. A package? Seems like a backpack. What is that? Piece of paper? It is paper. Okay, she's always had her different colored eyes. Now, I'm assuming we are going to find out why she's partaking in all these games. She wants to clear 99 games. Why, we don't know. And I assume this is the first game she was in, maybe? So we find out how this all came to be. And potentially why she's stone cold. Projector for the time. Also, because there's a timer, I'm assuming this is one of the desk games, which means they are not always group based, but they are also sometimes solo. I mean, we found a bunch of stuff in like 10 minutes. Oh, we are on floor 5. We have to get through all these floors until 1. 5 hours? Oh, it was a backpack. Okay. We have some animals on the right. A ghost, a donkey, a mouse. Looks a little bit like a board game. Can you move these around, or it also is a... Is that a wolf? The first instinct I had is this there's like a logic puzzle where you have like two beaches and a float, and you have like a specific set of animals, and you can always put two animals on the float and you have to let them cross, but they have specific things you can't do. As example, there's, I believe, a wolf, and you can't leave it alone with like the sheep because it's going to eat the sheep, and you have to do the right combination of move back and forth. This is what this reminds me of, because we have a wolf, we have a couple animals that potentially could be eaten by the wolf. Unless these are just placeholders for literal animals that you are now going to come across. No idea how you come across a ghost, but I was hoping that this would be a solo game. I don't want more. Because if it's a solo game, it's like, okay, she's going to survive. Maybe she's going to die. At this moment, not that. I'm not really bound to her emotionally, but now we have a second character. Looks a little bit like, you know, Joe's son. Never mind. You do know. You can't really kill people like this. Scrap building. Even if you have sharp nails, that is very hard to kill someone like that. Fuck me. We are probably going to meet a couple more girls. Half of them are going to die, at least. What is this timer? We had this one the last time as well, but it was, I believe, 31 in the first episode. Counting up. Or 32? 32. Yes, 32. 32? I don't remember. Because it's not as a timer, we now have a real timer we can look at. 5 hours. What exactly is?
一部屋だけ誰もいませんでしたね。空室なだけなのか、それともまだどこかに潜んでいるのか。ゲームを進め。
We have 5 people. Last time we had 6, so assumption is there's a 6th person. It may be a case of that one person is quote unquote the bad guy, and they have asymmetrical gameplay. We have 5 that need to escape and 1 who needs to not let them escape. Could be something like that.
進めていけばわかることですけれど、まずはセオリー通り自己紹介から始めましょうか。とは言っても、大半はすでに見知った仲なわけですけれど。
Have we?
もしかして皆さん知り合い？ええ、これまでのゲームで何度かご一緒しました。
You are all dead.
知らないのはあなただけですわ。
You are all dead.
お名前は？ユウキと言います。ゲームは10回目。
I assumed it would be her first game. It's her 10th game. You are so small compared to later. So we are not going to find out why you are doing this.
ややブランクはありますが、それなり
You took a bit of a break.
にお役に立てるとは思います。よろしく。よろしくね。それだけですの？それだけ？どんな技能を有しているのか、何ができるのか。
She's very good at killing people.
そういうところも教えていただかないと、どう扱ったも
That is a little bit harsh. Let's say she's very good at making decisions. Disregarding if the decision is at the cost of a human life. Let's say that.
のか判断しかねますわ。技能って言われても、トラップの有無を見抜くのにそこそこ自信あるのと。
Did not look like that in episode 1.
格闘のスキルもある程度は。逆
Combat skills. Which would mean that she had to fight at one of these games, maybe?
に知識のいるタイプは苦手かな。まともに学校通ってなかった。
Okay. We have a weakness. That is nice.
大体わかりましたわ。
So the main point is that we know Yuki's going to survive. You made it to game 28. I'm assuming the rest is dead. Are you telling us about yourself now? Your name, what you can do, Mrs. Ojo-san?
ミシロと申しますわ。ゲームは今回で8回目。統率能力に優れているものと自負しておりますので、普段は皆さんのまとめ役を務めておりますの。どうぞ。
Why? This is a death game. Why are people going back? In the other games, there were also one of them did it the second time. Someone else had even knowledge beforehand. It's like, why? Why? I can understand 2, maybe 3 times, make enough money to live off that. But 10, 8?
ことはです。ゲームの参加は
Why?
その知識面で皆さんをお手伝いできたらと思っています。思うでは困りますわ。いつも言っているでしょう。自信のない表現はやめなさいと。命がけのゲームでそういう態度はいただけませんわ。すみません。
So we have another one that does it the 5th time. The main point is we have not heard about outside these games. Maybe there is no real way to make money because the subtitle for the show is this game is to put food on the table. Meaning maybe this is one of the few ways you can make money that doesn't require you to be in a specific position, have specific connections. What else? We don't really know the outside. Still find it a little bit weird that you did it like 10 times already. We know Yuki wants to meet the 99 threshold, so she can do a high score, I guess. I don't know.
終わりです。じゃあ次は私かな。知恵です。確か4回目かな。器用貧乏っていうか、何でもできるけど何も突出してない感じですね。よろしくお願いします。ケイトです。ゲームはこれで6回目。
There has to be a reason why they all do this multiple times.
得意なのは、勝つ人間をいち早く見極めることです。よろしく。
Okay. So we have someone who knows who to follow. Okay, we have someone who can lead. We have someone who is somewhat knowledgeable. Someone jack of all trades, and then we have Yuki, who has the most experience, is seemingly good at detecting traps, and good at fighting, but not very smart. Okay.
さて、ゲームを進めるにあたってですが、いつものように私がリーダーを担うということでよろしいですね。それと、何ですの？
理由を聞かせてもらっていいかな。リーダーにふさわしいと考える理由を。
役職への適性と信用からですわ。単に自分が生き残るのと他人を統率するのでは使う頭が違いますもの。この場の誰もあなたのことを知りませんわ。皆さんにとって慣れ親しんだ私がリーダーを務める方が安心。
I mean, she is right. She knows the other ones. If the other ones agree to let her be the leader, it's simple majority. Now Yuki could go against that and be solo, but it is more beneficial to be in a big group until the game decides, oh, only 3 of you can survive.
そうではありませんか。
Still mad about that.
それに少々あなたのことを疑っておりますの。私の観察する限り、とても10回目のプレイヤーに見えませんわ。
True, she
所作
doesn't
の
look
一
young.
つ一つが垢抜けていませんもの。格闘スキルはそこそこというのも疑わしい。
She raises a valid point. At this point, everyone just is telling us what they are good at. Does not necessarily mean they are telling the truth. Fair enough. Fair enough.
ですわね。
吹いてるって言いたいのか。
いいえ。ただ、もう少し辻褄が合うように発言した方がよろしいかと。
わかったよ、三代さん。私はあなたをリーダーと認めます。
それでは全会一致ということで、ゲームを始めましょうか。
I have a bad feeling. I hope that Yuki's not trying to find a way to kill Mashiro. That's her name, right? Because this is very ominous. It's like, oh, she more or less forced herself to be the leader. And Yuki's going to be a little bit, you know, I know where the traps are.
が垢抜けていませんもの。
So maybe she lets her run into her
懐中
death.
電灯は一つずつ。
What are these numbers? I know I checked the website. I believe the source is the light novel or one light novel, whatever. Because I see this could have been manga. It could have been a manga has like 33 pages, and this is page 3 of those 33. It could maybe be for the light novel. Hey, this arc has 33 pages, and this is page 3 of 33. Otherwise, I don't know what these numbers mean. They seem important.
使いましょう。対立を組んで進む
No
のが
idea.
賢明。
It can't be the people. We only have 5 or 6. It doesn't seem to be the timer. The timer has 5 hours, so it doesn't seem to correlate to that. It just progresses whenever a new scene plays out. I assume it is the chapter number? Maybe?
ですわね。最初の戦闘組んで進むのが賢明ですわね。
私が、
最初の戦闘は
私が、
No, why not the one that supposedly knows how to find traps. And I see everyone got like a backpack full of items. First things, everyone got the same item. What was the paper about?
珍しいじゃん。
And we also had a rope. What I would do is the first person has a rope around them, and everyone else, we connect each other with a rope, maybe? Because I feel like there could be a fall trap that opens up, and someone is going to fall down, and the rope would have prevented them from dying.
琴葉さん、殊勝な心がけだと思いますが、こういった取り決めは公平を期すべきだと私は思いますの。
そうですよね。
殴り合うの？じゃんけんです。
You're talking about being at the front. Who wants to be at the front? I don't want to be at the front. The one I would assume should go is Yuki. Because she knows more or less how to spot traps. And that is all this is about. That is not Yuki.
降りますわよ。
はい。
That seems like a trap. I also wonder, first off, what about the animals on the floor plan? What about those? There were 6 animals. They represent the players, don't they? They do. 1133. Where's the floor plan again here? 6. We are missing 1. But these are potentially the players. These are potentially all the different rooms the players are in. This is maybe the main hallway. And we have like a ghost. We have a wolf. Potentially, somewhat dangerous and mostly harmless people. I'm assuming the ghost is the one that disappeared. And the wolf, I assume... My first instinct would be Mashiro, the blonde woman. But Yuki could work well. Let me, an owl could be seen as someone smart. Jack of all trades, like maybe the mice. But I feel like these are representatives of the 6 people we have. Because, okay, a little bit too far forward. There we go. Stuff. Again, I assume that is a representation of the different people. I wanted to say something else. I totally blanked. Right. The first episode was like 40 to 50 minutes, which is one of these games. Are we going to finish this game in 20 minutes, or is this going to be part 1? Someone try to go first?
一足先に目覚めてふらふら歩いていたら落っこちたというところでしょう。いや、何ですか、琴葉さん。
Is that a ball that dropped?
あれ
Massive
あれではわかりませんわ。ライト。
はあ。彼女は道を照らしながら進んでいた。 にもかかわらず
Yeah, she didn't
穴に落ちて、
fall into a hole.
この穴は彼女がここを踏んだ瞬間に開いた落とし穴だってことだ。これ地雷ゲームだよ。
Again, we have like pages being turned, seemingly, unless we find at some point that this has a bigger meaning. So this one is dead again. These 6 animals we had at representation, one of them was a ghost. Now, I'm assuming that this player is not the one that maybe there's like a ghosty, spooky character that we get introduced to later. Maybe already was dead and got replaced by the ghost.
間違いなく死んでますわね。
あ、そこ水たまりが。
Another part. Here it makes sense that they are very, they are not really shaken up by a dead person. They all did a bunch of games. No one here is new. Everyone has at least 4 games under their belt. There are people going to die. So they all have experience. Different to the first game, where some people were new and did not really get that affected by someone literally dying in front of them.
何をやってるんですの。
What is the paper?
ライトは電池切れですわね。
この先どうする？地雷今後もあると思うけど。
First off, she had a light. Everyone has different items in their backpack, right? Can we get some inventory, what you all have? So we know if something useful is in the backpack. Maybe someone else has a flashlight. Five. By that number, this is going to be at least 2 episodes of this game. Because we are at 5 from 33 and already halfway through this episode.
になった気分。仕方
Oh, they do the rope. Okay. Okay. As I said at the beginning, makes the most sense. Now, I was assuming there would just be a stereotypical, square opening up and you fall down, but, seems like a good idea.
ありませんわ。ビジュアルの良し悪しより安全の方が大事ですもの。ですよね。
ケイトさん、待った。
なんです。
この先ちょっと怪しい。迂回した方がいいかもしれない。
理由を聞いてもよろしいですこと？
監視カメラ。かなり分かりやすい位置についてる。
カメラがあるから何ですの？そんなもの、ここにはいくらでもあるでしょう。
So it can be recorded better for the viewer?
あからさまなのが問題なんだ。ああも分かりやすいカメラがあったら何かあるって思わない？
わざわざ罠の位置を知らせているということですな。どうして？
その方が面白いからでしょ。
引き返しましょう、皆さん。
I hope there's not like a double bluff by putting it in an obvious place. You are supposed to assume there's something there, but there's not really, Again, why not send Yuki first?
Wait. こっちも怪しい。 返そう。
カメラはないようですけれど、何をもってそう判断したんですの？
勘かな。女の
う
勘。
ーん。
そのごまかしてるわけじゃなくてさ、本当になんか嫌な感じがするんだよ。気配っていうか、タイミング的にもこれまでのゲームの感じから考えてもそろそろ何か。
ユウキさん、私今ならまだあなたのことを受け入れる心の用意がありますわ。
何の話？
あなたの気持ちはお察しいたします。しかしここは勇気ある選択をお願いしたいですわね。さすれば私たちも同じだけの歩み寄りをいたしますわ。
言いたいことがあるならはっきり言ったら。
電池引っ込みがつかなくなったのでしょ。我10回目なりと偽ってしまったものですから。
ん？
少しでもらしい演技をしなければならなかった。危険を察知する実にうまい手ですわ。道を引き返している限り嘘が露見することはありませんもの。生きるか死ぬかの修羅場でやらないでほしいとは思いますけれど。
妄想たくましいね。このゲームに向いてるよ、ミシロさん。
ケイトさん、構いません。そのまま直進してください。
That is very interesting. So this whole conversation. Because my first instinct was there's not really a reason not to listen to Yuki. It costs time, sure. But better safe than sorry. The last one, okay, understandable. She had something to point out. It made sense. This time she doesn't really have much going on. It's like an intuition. It wouldn't really hurt to follow that intuition though. Unless, like she just explained, she doesn't trust Yuki at all. All she said could be a lie. Because at the moment, if we believe her, she has the most experience, she knows how to detect danger, then it would make sense to follow what she says. Okay. But if we go from the perspective that she's lying, this is not her 10th game, she's not really good at detecting danger, then she's just wasting our time. Now, it is not really to her benefit at all to waste our time. So that is something that is, maybe you could believe she would be someone bad. Maybe her goal is to waste our time for some reason. But I would still err on the, on caution and listen to her one more time. Even though it wastes another like 10-15 minutes. However, I can see why Mashiro doesn't want to. She doesn't trust her. She believes everything she's saying is a lie, or not true at least. Not fully true. And that it is not in to their benefit to listen to her again. Without her really putting out a good reason. Like last time with the camera. Here we don't have anything. Now, I'm assuming Yuki didn't lie. This is a good part because we know Yuki is able to make those decisions. And we don't see her really as a hero. She's very self-serving. I could definitely see her lying. It could be that she lied here. She does look younger. And it could be her first game. So let's see how it turns out.
彼女の言うことはお耳に入れなくてもよろしいですわ。向こうの壁まで。ほら。
Now the question is, if something happens, then she's going to lose her leadership. The most suitable option for, I assume her name was Mashiro, the blonde woman, is for her to go first. She believes Yuki is lying, so it makes the most sense for her to go first because she is sure there's nothing going on, instead of sending someone else in front, because they don't believe as much in her. Seemingly, as you saw, she is hesitating to go first.
ほら
Everyone is looking like, because I assume most of them have a similar idea to me, where they are like, it doesn't really hurt to be more cautious. Yeah, she did. She did. I mean, the whole framing, everything. We saw Yuki. She doesn't seem to be lying. Yeah, she's dead. She is gone. Okay. This would piss me off. Bitch. You are like, there is no, no trap. Move your ass. Follow.
Yuki-san
This doesn't look nice. For some reason, because of the trap, I have in my mind a huge rolling boulder barreling down this hallway. For some reason.
ユウキさんいつでも構いません一言謝罪があれば水に流します
Yeah, that is a fuck you red flag.
わ
考えとくよ。その後も
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So nothing happened. Now, blonde girl is now, she knows she was right in her mind. That, Yuki lied, or is, what she's saying is not true. I assume what Yuki said was true. He did not lie. Maybe not about the 10th time this is happening. Who knows? What I feel like happened was that they went across the hallway and the organizer behind the scenes, they can activate the landmines. They can activate the traps. But because they saw this, interaction, and it's a little bit of an intrigue, there could be like infighting, this could be interesting, they decided to not enact any of the traps to try and make something different happen. Give it a little spice. Instead of just killing them with traps, maybe we can foster this hostile environment where they start fighting each other. I feel like that is happening. It would make sense from a producer standpoint. Again, you have the whole shebang. Again, you have these contestants, they die through traps, yada yada. Gets a little bit stale. In this case, they could have something else going on, like a gladiator fight, where people can then bet on who's going to come out on top of this little civil war. I can definitely see the organizers being the ones that did not activate the landmines.
依頼が炸裂することはなかった。一行は無事階段を見つけ3階に。
Because now it's like, okay, whatever Yuki's saying, no one is going to listen to her. No one. So they created a rift, and now whenever she's saying something, there's a trap. and they don't listen to her, the, surprise is going to hit a lot harder.
琴葉の持つ懐中電灯が切れたのはそれからすぐのことだった。
Do we
こ
have
こまで
another
3個の
flashlight?
電池を
No.
消費。残り使える電池は2個。消費のペースを考えると出口まで明らかに数が足りなかった。この事実を前にしてミシロが放ったのは一言だけ。これからはもう少し巻きで進めましょう。
Yeah, that is already a bad idea. Would it not be prudent to find another way to make light?
なあ、このままじゃまずいって。今のペースだと2階の半ばで電池が尽きる。残りワンフロア半を急ぐだけで巻き返すなんて無茶だ。どっかで我慢しなきゃいけないんだよ。ってことはだよ、下の階に行くほど罠は過激になる可能性がある。だってその方が早く我慢するのにメリットがあってゲーム的に面白いもの。
Who's talking?
今ならまだ間に合う。4階で気づいて3階で実行する。それが運営の想定している攻略ルートのはずなんだよ。論理に破綻はない。自分で言うのもなんだが分かりやすく話せていると思う。しかしであるにもかかわらず勇気の言葉に耳を貸すものはなかった。話の筋が通っているかどうかは関係ない。勇気というプレイヤーの格付けはすでに終わっていた。
Like it was planned.
それこそ
Like a ghost, huh? Like a ghost. Like the little mannequin on the picture? Which means someone else is a wolf. Again, I would I wouldn't even assume the blonde girl. However, she wants to be the leader. Wolf, Alpha, but wolves have like a hierarchy, so there could be like a leader, could be her. But the image of a wolf is one that is more nefarious. I feel like it's... Was it the pink-haired girl who said she knows how to pick out a winner? I could see her being a wolf.
幽霊になった気
But
分だ。
there is definitely a wolf. Question is just
その後は
who is going to be the wolf.
なんだっけ。琴葉って子が地雷を踏んで。
Is that a literal landmine?
ああ、映画みたいなやつ。重りを乗せて。でもロープ引っ掛けちゃって。
琴葉さん、琴葉、琴葉さん。向こうは嘘でしょ。琴葉さん、聞こえますか？琴葉さん。
生きてる。
あれはもうダメですわね。ケイトさん、消してやりなさい。いつまでも晒し者にするのは悪いですわ。見捨てるの？見捨てるも何も、あれが生きているように見えますか？
生きてるって。防腐処理があるんだから、あれぐらいじゃ失血死の心配はないはず。頭部に損傷もないみたいだし。
生命的な意味ではありません。プレイヤーとして死んだという意味です。
あ？
Very cold, but she's not very useful right now. That is true.
地雷が戦場で有益なのは負傷兵によって全体の戦力が落ちるからです。かわいそうだとか薄情だとか、このゲームに持ち込んでたら全員死んで元も子もないですわ。
じゃあ一人で行く。
お待ちなさい。
They're going to steal your flashlight.
どうした？寂しくなった？
そのライト置いていってください。
残念だよ。
こちらこそ残念ですわ。
みんなこのゲームを全く理解していない。
What do you mean? First off, you should have been very careful there, but you were not. It shouldn't have happened. But there seems to be more going on. And again, we had the picture at the beginning. Is this the ending? Ending. Okay. We had the picture at the beginning. There we go. She feels like a ghost. Okay. We have all of these. Someone died at the beginning. We don't know who that is. We have someone who's somewhat smart, I'm assuming. It's the one that is now without legs. But the owl. Someone jack of all trades, someone who wants to lead, and someone who knows how to choose a winner. So is the question. And we have a dead one. Now the dead one, I don't really know. Leader could be the wolf. You know, trying to lead, trying to be the head of the pack rotation. Jack of all trades, I would count like the mice. Could be. This one could also be the one that knows how to choose a winner. And Jack of all trades is maybe the donkey. And the one that died, the penguin, maybe. But again, I stand by this is a visual for all the candidates. Which would mean that they previously knew that Yuki would become a ghost-like. Okay, very interesting. So we have one dead character. We have a character that is half dead, that is going to go with Yuki. Yuki understands there's something behind this game that the other ones don't understand. What does she mean? There's also we still have the paper that smells. There's something going on with that. I don't know what she means by this. It may be what I was talking about, the logic puzzle. One of the parts is that you have a wolf, and I believe you have a sheep and like pigs or whatever, and the wolf would eat one of them unless you were with the farmer. You can look the logic puzzle. And it could be that because I assume the blonde girl is the wolf, that if she is at the end of the game with the other two, who are like some kind of smaller little animal, that the wolf has to then quote unquote eat them, or they get eaten by the wolf. Otherwise, I don't know what she means. We are going to find out next episode. I hope we get to find out more about Yuki, how she became, this, how she became in the 28th game.